So this morning, it's the third day we're here. We leave tomorrow, and when I go to places, I have a tendency to compare them to other places, and invariably there really is no comparison between places. They all have like a different feeling to them, different food, different nature, and in some respects, when you bring your comparison to a place, you're comparing it to what you like most about places. And if you get stuck in that conversation the whole time you're there, you really may not even get to know what it is that people love about where you are. So you kind of almost have to spend a few days there and kind of listen, kind of in a holistic sense, to the environment, the food, the people, the energy. San Blas doesn't compare really to any of the Caribbean places maybe you have in your mind. Certainly none of the traditional or expensive ones. San Blas is really about a culture that has maintained itself primarily over the centuries. It never really was dominated by Spain, even though it's in Panama. And it's still not really dominated by the Panama government. It's its own government. They have their own rules they play by, and the Kuna people live the life that they love and they enjoy. And it's not a perfect culture. No culture really is. Every culture has problems, but if you're stuck in your head about these comparisons, how does it compare to here? How does it compare to there? You're not really going to discover what the feeling is here, because you'll be in your head about whether the food's as good or the accommodations or whatever, instead of really getting to know what's happening or noticing what the place is about instead of what your judgment is about it. But along comes day 3, and I'm starting to get really what this place is about. It's not really about, you don't come here to vacation in the traditional sense. It's where everything's just about relaxation and your next really great meal and cocktails with umbrellas and whatnot. You're not going to find any of that in San Blas, really. What you're going to find is a culture that's maintained itself really for centuries, despite domination by richer, stronger, more equipped, dominant cultures, and been able to maintain itself in this 360 islands, about 50 of which are inhabited. And I don't know how many invite tourists, but they don't all invite tourists. It's its own culture, and you only get a piece of it when you come somewhere. We're here on an island called 𝗙𝗏𝗄.
Leaving once we get to the other side. We're coming back once we get to the
Okay, let's go. So what happened to your art? It's raining now.
I arted. This is an art installation that I put together in San Blas on a moment's notice. It's just me, that's how I roll.
This is our beautiful house with all this.
Only the best for 𝗙𝗏𝗄.
And you can see it's a family-run resort, just like all of them. Resort's probably not really the word for it. It's more like discovering a culture, and it's not as integrated. It's not like a homestay where you're staying in the culture. You still have you're with your own culture. Maybe you're in a dorm, or like we got a private place with a private bath, but everything else is the same. Like, we're in huts like they live in. These are the huts they live in over here. We're in a hut like that. We don't even have a fan. And normally we're used to AC and fan and hot water heater and all this kind of thing. But once your mind calms down a little bit and you're actually able to really experience what's going on around you, there's a very quiet solitude here that you don't get the first day or two, because you're too busy in your head about, is it 𝗏𝗏, is it You know, any number of islands around the world I've been to that are white sand beach islands. It's nothing like any of them, but it's a way to go back into the past and see how things really were. There's no real international culture here in any sense. It's just how it's been for, I would suspect, you know, they have motors on the boats now, but other than that, and they have electricity and they're all carrying a cell phone, but it really has maintained a lot of the basic aspects of this society and this culture. And so it's a different rhythm. You know, the modern world is in a very fast-paced rhythm. It's all about having things, showing wealth, cars, expensive cell phones, shoes, big houses. And these people live peacefully in a very simple, elegant environment, and they seem at peace, really. I'm sure in some of the larger islands where there's some more, I don't know, internationalization going on, maybe. I don't know, I haven't been there, but certainly where we are, and from what I've seen, the islands we've visited, this is a place that is from the past. And so if you're stuck in your rhythm at the present moment, you want that music, you want that quick food, you want this, you want all your comforts.
This is our tank here. We didn't use their mosquito net. It didn't protect us at all, so we have our mosquito net here, you see? And we sleep very well after that. It's very nice.
You're going to be miserable here, but if you can just relax and just let the energy of this place come into your senses and dominate your awareness, this is a place where you can really get in touch with maybe what the earth was, you know, 100, 200 years ago, and what maybe it's not that, it's probably at least 100 years ago since it was like this in most of the world. And so it's kind of a fun, it's a vacation from the present. It's from present the international world, but it's not cheap. It's not, you know, it doesn't have any of the earmarks for retirement, or you can't even live here from what I understand. You can only visit if you're come to one of the resorts, but it's just it's a nice feeling that you will get pieces of this feeling in less industrialized or commercialized parts of, you know, Ecuador, and even in Mexico, and actually South America. Usually smaller villages up in mountains where there isn't large buildings. It just has more of the flavor of the past. But this is what's amazing about this place is these are white sand beaches, these are palm trees, and usually these are the places that where the world wants to come first and put up big hotels and bring in all the needs and wants of the modern day international traveler, and that's not happened here. And so that's San Blas, and it's you know, you're gonna have to come a couple days probably if you're like me to really get what's going on here, but it's calming. It's a calming, relaxing feeling to be here and amongst these people, these humble people that live in paradise and that are not so concerned about all the things we are. You know, like this dock I'm standing on, you know, and if this dock were in the US, people would worry about getting sued and they're going to take my house away. I have to make the dock flat so no one trips, and you know, all these little details that are in the US and in much of the internationalized world, those details aren't here. They're using wood from the land or nearby land, and they're building huts with what they have, and they're living joyful lives, and they don't seem to be wound up in trying to compete with each other, and they seem happy. Maybe I don't know that they're happier, but they're happy people, and they're having a good time. And we're here enjoying their culture instead of bringing ours to them, and that's maybe how to wrap this video up, is saying that when you don't bring your story to San Blas. You come to San Blas and discover someone else's story. And in order to do that, you're not going to be as comfortable as you would be if you went wherever, you know, Cancun or the Mediterranean or somewhere like that. You're coming to discover another part of the world that's remained the same as it has been for many, many decades, possibly centuries. So that is San Blas, and it's quite a nice way to. Chung calls it a technology therapy. You're leaving all of the, I mean, there is internet here, but we've kind of pretty much turned our phones off and haven't used them at all. And we've just been in tune with the water and the air and the rhythms of this culture, and feels good. It's a very nice break. And there's no purpose in comparing this place to anywhere because it's its own place, and it's not going to compare in any measure. All of the criteria, you know, how white is the beach, you know, yeah, white sand beaches, beautiful palm trees, but other than that, it doesn't fit any of the industrialized requirements for, you know, a crazy cool Caribbean vacation, barefoot cruise, this kind of thing. It's not that. It's something completely different. So if that sounds like something interesting, then San Blas is for you. So anyway, thanks for watching the video.
Big fish.
Another deep fried fish for Chung.
It's nice. I love fish.
Yeah, she loves deep fried fish. They do it in Malaysia. And another carrot for me, and rice and salad. Very diverse food here, you know? Every day is different.
Can I have the spicy?
No spice for you.
This is ketchup.
Huh?
Ketchup.
I don't know what you put all that weird stuff on your food. Ketchup on fish.
Ketchup on fish. There's olive oil over there.
Trust me, there's no olive oil anywhere near here. You might have some vegetable oil of some kind if you're good. I'll just salt everything indiscriminately. Maybe it'll improve things. Yesterday had rice. Today I have salted rice.
Then say that you have to see how I eat fish. Last night the fish is they fry very deep and very dry, so lots of the fish spear and the thing I can eat is very
You said
crispy.
the bones were crunchy.
Not this bone, but I mean
Last
the tear.
Last night.
I say that in Malaysia we have that kind of fish, a small fish, and then you deep fry and then you can eat everything, including the head and the eye.
Yeah, Chung eats the eyes. That's what we call flavor here in San Blas. Okay, wish me luck.
Good luck.
You don't really mean it. You say that to all the sailors.
Ooh. It's a full rainbow now. Wow. And I like this one also. This is hot. This is like Chinese. In Malaysia we have this one we call 𝗙𝗙𝗢 This one.
That's a lot of work for that. We just call it bread.
The same like Malaysia one we have called 𝗙𝗙𝗢. Inside they have like red beans and papaya, whatever you want, and some sesame seed. And it's salty one.
It is salty.
We make it salty.
Hey, if you liked our video, please like, comment, or subscribe. Any of that would help our business. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Click the link in the notes below this video to get a copy of this content. Plus, grab a free copy of my ebook, How I Fired My Boss and Traveled the World for 13 Years. While you're there, check out our catalog of retired cheap reports all over the world and our hobby income course that we just released. Thanks so much.